Yo guys, limiting the amount of tyre wear that you get on your tyres is almost as important as being consistently fast in F1 22. Managing your tyre wear will help to open up different race strategies, giving you more options during a race to beat the competition. However, tyre wear isn't an easy part of F1 22 to master. It involves finding the right car setup, as well as consciously managing your driving style to get the most life out of your tyres. This video will run through the best tips to help limit your tyre wear in F1 22. And the first tip is about finding the perfect car setup. Managing your tyre wear and getting better tyre life all starts with your setup. It is the single biggest element that you can change to improve your overall tyre life. Creating the quickest car setup to get you on pole position is all well and good, but if you don't factor in tyre wear, you may end up pitting more than the other cars around you. Finding the right balance between speed and tyre wear is crucial for the best race setup. One of the best indicators of how well your tyres will wear during a race is by monitoring your tyre temperatures. You can do this by navigating to the temperature panel in your MFD while driving. You should be checking to see how hot your tyres get. If they get too hot on a regular basis, you'll encounter excess tyre wear. The ideal tyre temperature in F1 22 is between 90 and 100 degrees C. If your temperatures exceed 100, you should look to make setup adjustments to bring down the overall temperatures. There are different parts of your car setup that can affect your tyre temperature and tyre wear. Knowing which parts these are will help you adjust your car setup to manage tyres that are getting too hot. First off, your camber. This affects how much of your tyre is in contact with the road. Higher values, further left on the setup slider, will negatively affect your tyre wear. This will mean less of your tyre is touching the road, causing tyres to wear unevenly. Your toe is the angle that your wheels are pointing away from your car when looking from above. Increasing the toe will increase tyre temperature and wear as your tyres will be dragged across the surface of the track. Decreasing toe will straighten your wheels, giving you more top speed and less tyre wear. A stiffer suspension and anti-roll bar setup will also increase your tyre wear, and your on-throttle diff setup will affect how closely both your rear wheels spin at the same speed. High values of this are likely to cause more oversteer and wheel spin, which will increase tyre wear. Finally, your tyre pressures. If you increase them, you'll put more force through your tyres, which will increase your overall tyre temperature. Your tyre strategy during the race will be heavily dictated by the practice program if you undertook it during any of the 3 practice sessions. These include performing a single pit stop as opposed to 2 stops during a race, and this can save you around 20-30 seconds depending on the track you're racing at. To accommodate this style of race strategy, you may need to make some concessions with your strategy or driving style. Slightly tweaking your car setup to accommodate a better race strategy will almost always allow you to run a faster overall race, especially when compared to having to pit an additional time to account for excessive tyre wear. Other than your car setup, one of the key areas where you can improve tyre wear is to limit your wheel spin. Reducing the amount of oversteer you encounter around certain corners in F1 22 and limiting wheel spin on corner exits will help keep tyre temperatures down. Tracks which are rear limited, meaning your rear tyres will wear before your front, are particularly tricky on tyre wear. These styles of circuits are much harder on your rear tyres due to them generally having more corners which are prone to produce wheel spin. To limit the amount of wheel spin you get, you can once again look at your car setup, with elements such as your on-throttle diff and your rear suspension stiffness and rear aerodynamics all can help reduce wheel spin. You can also try to regulate the amount of throttle you apply more carefully. The better you manage your throttle application when accelerating out of corners, the less your tyres will spin, and the less wheel spin you encounter, the lower your tyre temperatures and in turn your tyre wear will be. I'll leave a card in the video now with a link to our ultimate guide to traction control in F1 22 and how to drive without it. This will be really helpful to help modulate your throttle control. Another issue that can cause excessive tyre wear in F1 22 is when you lock your wheels under braking. Locked wheels happen when your tyres can't cope with the amount of braking force you're putting through them. This can be caused by braking too hard for too long or applying too much steering input while braking. A locked wheel will drag the tyre across the track surface, which creates extra heat to be generated, and this will wear the tyre directly due to the surface being dragged across the track. While locking up a wheel would normally cause a flat spot to appear, this feature isn't in F1 22, so no matter how hard you lock your wheel, you won't flat spot your tyre, although lockups do still negatively affect your tyre wear, so are best to be avoided. As I mentioned, locked wheels are usually a result of too much braking force being applied for too long or at low speeds, or too much steering input being applied while braking. The first issue of applying too much brake pressure for too long generally refers to the driver braking hard at low speed. The braking force you can apply is much higher at higher speeds compared to lower speeds. So for example, when you're travelling at 100 miles an hour, you don't need the same amounts of braking force to slow the car as when you would when you're travelling at 180 miles an hour. And you've also got to know that your tyres can only give a certain amount of grip. Once this grip level is exceeded, your tyre will lose traction or lock up. When you brake in a straight line, all of your tyre's grip potential is being used to slow your car down. If you start to then turn the steering wheel at the same time, some of the grip is then being used to turn the car. This can cause the tyre's maximum grip to be reached and exceeded. Instead, the correct way to brake and turn is to reduce the amount of brake input as you increase your steering input. This is called trail braking and will help balance the steering and braking in a way which doesn't cause you to exceed your tyre's maximum grip levels. Both excess wheel spin and wheel lockups, as I've just spoken about, are examples of overdriving your car. If you push too hard and drive beyond the limits of grip that your tyres can offer, not only will you cause extra stress on your tyres as you slide across the track, but you'll also run the risk of losing control of your car. During a race in particular, you have to be mindful to stay within the limit of the car. Pushing too hard will work the tyres more and increase the rate at which they wear. You'll often hear TV commentators talking about drivers preserving their tyres. This refers to drivers intentionally driving slower than their maximum to help increase tyre life. The same approach applies to F122 during longer races. You should ensure that you drive consistent laps rather than pushing for the entirety of the race. There are scenarios during a race where it's beneficial to push, such as in laps and out laps, and when you're trying to overtake other cars. However, if you're in the middle of a pack with cars around you, try to conserve some tyre life by driving within your limit. And you can also look to adjust your driving style to improve tyre life. If you watch Formula 1, you'll often hear commentators talking about drivers such as Sergio Perez or Jenson Button in the past having an incredibly smooth driving style. Both of these drivers, as well as drivers such as Fernando Alonso, are fantastic at preserving their tyres and making them last longer than others around them. This is because of their smooth style. The smoother you can be with your inputs, the less strain you'll put on your tyres. This applies to all aspects of driving, from steering to accelerating and braking. Try to ensure all of your inputs are smooth. On the flip side, if you move the steering wheel erratically or you're aggressive with the throttle pedal, you'll put extra stress through your tyres, and this will increase your overall temperature and increase your tyre wear. So hopefully these tips for improving tyre wear will make your tyres last longer and help you preserve your tyres during longer races. Following these tips, from the adjusted car setups to the smooth driving style, will help you get the most out of your tyres, and this should give you an advantage during the race, allowing you to adjust your race strategy to give you the advantage. As always, if you've enjoyed this video and any of these tips have been useful, hit that like button and leave a comment below. It really helps this video be seen by others thanks to the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more F122 content like this and other setup videos, subscribe to our channel and hit that alert bell to be notified when new videos drop. But for now guys, I'll see you on track.